Hello students, welcome back to the online class of physical science. This is your name Miss back with a new lesson, that is combustion, fuels and flames. Okay, we have already learned these terms in our previous classes, but in today's class, that is in your 8th class, we will learn into a little deep. Okay, so let us start with this topic. So we use different kinds of materials in our daily life, right? In our synthetic fiber also, I said we are using the nylon, rayon, cotton, all these things. So uh, we use different kinds of materials as fuels for various purposes at home. We burn this the clothes also, right? So it burns, right? So uh, did you heard about how people use the burn wood, charcoal, burn wood, coal, okay, and cakes of cow dung and kerosene, etc. All these things we use in the burning of fuel, we use as fuel, right? In our, like, if you go to the villages, you see that people use the wood to cook the food, and they even make the cakes of the cow dung, and they use for cooking the food, right? So these are all the things that we use as fuel for cooking of food. And blacksmiths in villages also use for heating metals. The one who produces iron equipments, they use black, they are called as blacksmiths. So they use this in the uh, in producing the heavy metals. Okay, they heat these things, they use fuel in heating the metals. And both in urban and rural areas nowadays we see the LPG gases, right? LPG gases which are used for cooking of the food. Now we use light also from burning candles, right? We use from light in from the burning candles. And uh, we have also kerosene lamps. Where there is no supply of electricity, they will use burning candles and kerosene lamps. So you might have also observed the burning of candles or coal. So what do you find the difference between the burning of candle and burning of coal? We see, so burning of candle, it will give us what? It gives us a slight light which brightens the room to so that we can see the objects clearly. Whereas coal, it heats up, it helps in the cooking of food, or it also helps in the ironing. We use iron also, no? Like we go to the laundry, the laundry people, they use the coal to iron the dresses. And even they use the coal in the we see in olden days the train also used to work on the engine, used to work on the coal, when they used to just throw the coal in the burning fire. So with this it used to produce this energy, and that would have been converted into heat energy, and they used it. So there is a difference, right? There is a lot of difference between the coal and the burning candle. Burning candle gives us light, and coal, it helps in doing the work, right? So let us do the experiments now. We'll just burn all the materials and see what is the difference, and what type of uh, whether it can be used as fuel or not. So what we will do, we will take different materials, and we will take a pair of tong also to hold the metals or the whatever things we are taking. And we will take some clay dishes so that we can just put it there, or else it will burn your hands also. And we'll use a candle or a spirit lamp. Okay, so what you'll do with using this tong, we will just pick up the cloth. Okay, we'll take the cloth, and we will just, or we'll take a piece of paper. First we'll start with piece of paper and bring it to the fire. Okay, we'll just lighten up the fire or the spirit lamp, and we will keep it. So what do you observe? We'll observe that the paper burns, right? Paper burns. Similarly, if we do with different type of materials, like, so for example, I'm taking uh, magnesium ribbon, like we have seen in our synthetic class, synthetic fiber, we take the ribbon. When we put towards a fire, what will happen? It will burn very slowly. It will burn very slowly. It burns slowly. Okay. Then if you take charcoal, okay, if you're taking a charcoal, then what is happening? When you're taking a charcoal, it will also burns slowly, right? It will also burns slowly. It burns very slowly. Similarly, if you are taking a straw, you just take a straw and put it towards the fire, then what will happen? It will also burn slowly, right? First it will absorb the heat, then it will start slowly burning, right? Now if you take a plastic piece, okay, if you take plastic piece, any plastic piece, if you take, what will happen? Plastic will catch the fire quickly and it burns immediately. How it burns? It burns immediately. Plastic burns very immediately. Now if you take water, does the water burns? No, it will get boiled, it will get hot, but it does not burn. It does not, it doesn't burn, right? It doesn't burn. Water doesn't get burned. Suppose if you take coconut oil, will it burn? Yes, it catches fire immediately, right? So it catches fire immediately, it burns immediately. If you take kerosene oil, does it burns? Yes, it burns immediately. If you take LPG cylinders, will it burn immediately? Yes, of course it burns immediately. If you take CNG cylinders, that will also burn immediately. So if you take a pebble, okay, pebble are the small balls which we use in decorations also, small water like balls. So if you take that, will that burn? No, they will not burn. Okay, so these are some of the things which we can observe in our day-to-day life. These are all visible in our day-to-day life, right? Simply we can see, we can simply take these things and we can observe that whether these things are burning or not. Okay, and if they are burning, how they are burning? They will burn, or they catches fire easily, or they catches fire slowly, or they do not catch the fire. Fine. So with this activity, what did we conclude? We concluded that some objects burn, some burn, and some don't burn, and some burn very quickly, and some very slowly, right? So with this, what do we conclude? We conclude that some objects burn and some objects do not burn. Okay, so let us know. So let us know. We have seen that when the objects burn or any material is burning in air, you see that heat and light both are produced. Yes, heat and light are produced. When the objects burn in the air, heat, that is, the object becomes hot and the light also is produced. So heat and light both are produced. A chemical process in which a material reacts with oxygen present in air to generate heat is called as combustion. What it is called? It is called as combustion. So wherever you see that a process in which when a material is burned reacts with the oxygen, okay, the material when burns react with the oxygen, okay, present in the air. and this process is called as combustion. It's nothing but this process is called as combustion. So the material which reacts with the oxygen present in the air and generates heat and generates or produces heat is nothing but it's called as the process that is combustion. Fine. And the materials which burn when brought near a flame are called as combustible materials. Why they are called as combustible materials? Because due to the combustion the material is burning, so that means they are combustible materials. What they are called as? They are called as combustible materials, right? They are called as combustible materials. The materials which burn when they come in the air, right, in the presence of oxygen, right, when they come near to the flame, when the material is burning, then that material is called as combustible material. And the materials which do not burn when they come in contact with the flame are called as non combustible materials. What they are called? They are called as non combustible materials. Fine. Combustible materials are those materials which when come into contact with the flame, they get heated up, they get burnt, and the materials which do not burn when they come in contact with the flame are called as the non-combustible materials. Alright, I hope it is clear till here, children. For example, if we bring a paper in contact with the flame, that means the paper burns. So that is a combustible material. If we bring a ribbon or a nylon cloth to the flame, then it catches fire, then that means it is a combustible material. If I say non-combustible material, that means if I am bringing water in contact with the flame, then you can say that it is not burning. So it is not a combustible material. So it is called as non-combustible material. If we if we bring water towards the flame, then you can see that the flame decreases, right? The flame decreases. It does not burns the water, but instead the flame decreases, right? Similarly, if you bring the paper cups, what we have in nowadays we use for the disposable cups, plates and all, if you bring towards this cup to this flame, candle or spirit flame, and you keep upon it, you can see that it doesn't burn quickly. So that means it also comes under non combustible material. For one more example, I said pebbles, right? If you take pebbles also, they don't get burnt on the when they are brought nearer to the flame. So that means it is non-combustible material. So what are the basic things we require to burn? We need matchstick to burn, and a material also we need. So what are the basic things we require here for the burning purpose? Means we need matchstick, or we need a lighter or a burner, and even we need the material, any material to test. So these are the things which are required for the burning of the that is in the process of combustion. So as I said just now, we need matchstick and we need the material. But do you really think we need only matchstick and material to burn the objects? Cholo, let us see. Okay, what we will do, we will take a candle. Okay, this is a candle. And what we are doing, we are lightening it up. Fine, we are now lighting it up. So this is the flame that is coming out of it. Fine, this is the flame which is coming out of it. We have lightened the candle, right? Now what we are doing, we are taking a glass and we are inverting on it. We are just taking a glass and simply we are placing on it. Okay, we are just covering the glass with the glass. Okay, now we will just see whether the candle is burning or not. See, when you invert the tumbler, that is a glass on the candle, you can see that the candle will start flicking and finally it will go off. Flicking in the sense it will be start to like क्या बोलते हैं, फड़फड़ाना. When you see that, when you are just blowing with your hand, you see that the flame will start doing like this, right? That is nothing but it is called as flicking. The flame will go off. Okay, the flame will go off. What we'll do, again we will remove this glass, again we will light the candle. Okay, again we will light the candle. Then what we will see, when you are lighting the candle, the flame is again coming. Okay, it is again getting lighten up. Then again when you're putting the glass on this, again you can see that the flame is going off. Okay, so we find that putting the glass of the over the candle cuts off the supply of air, right? So because when you are turning this glass on this candle, you can see that there is no oxygen, whereas when you are keeping it open, you can see that there is a lot of oxygen present and the candle burns. So with this, what do we understand? We understand that oxygen is important for burning of the fire. Yes, it is important for the fire to burn. So with matchstick and with the candle and the material whatever we require, the most important thing is, if you are having matchstick also, if you don't have oxygen, it does not burn. So the most important thing is oxygen required for the burning of the candle. I hope it is clear, children. So this experiment proves that air is needed to burn the material. So in our next class, we will try to do more activities. Okay, and thank you for listening the video.